I will not demand that freedom-loving Americans sit here and pretend that Juneteenth, this federally mandated feel-good festival, suddenly that sprang from the heavens, okay? I will not demand that we follow this as the new American Independence Day. I'm not going to do that. So you can stop it right now, DEI director at State Farm or whatever big corporation, insert big corporation you work for. Just insert it there into the blank. What are they pushing now? This is Juneteenth, and they're not really like celebrating freedom. What they're really trying to do is rewrite the definition of America's founding. They're trying to rewrite the definition of freedom with Juneteenth, and they're trying to replace the 4th of July with Juneteenth. That's what they're trying to do. And we're not going to let that happen, my friends, because it's complete and utter nonsense. This is not history. This is not truth. It's an agenda. And this suddenly sprang from the heavens, this holiday. I don't know where it came from. We've never celebrated it before. Why? Because it's really just should be a paragraph in our history books, if that. It's not even really all that noteworthy for our history books. So let's unpack this. What is Juneteenth, really? So this marks June 19th, 1865, when Union General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas, and announced that the Civil War was over and all the enslaved people in Texas were free. Here's the truth. The Emancipation Proclamation had already been issued 2.5 years earlier, okay, when President Lincoln was there, and this was in 1863. That was the Emancipation Proclamation. And slavery had already ended in most of the country before this little announcement in Texas. Now, we have to remember the time period. This is in the 1800s. Okay, there was no internet, there was no Twitter, there's no cable boxes. Okay, this was 1800s, 1865. So news didn't really travel as fast as it does now. Okay, there was no internet, there was no Twitter. And Texas was the westernmost outpost of the Confederacy. Okay, this was very far west for the Confederacy. And it took a while for the word to get there that the Emancipation Proclamation was a thing. So, is it an interesting moment in history? Sure. It's sort of interesting, not really. Maybe a paragraph in your high school textbook? Sure, whatever. A federal holiday? No.